Good afternoon, everyone. It's Sal, Stretford Post. How you're doing? And welcome to another episode of Chatterbox. Hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's doing fine. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon, guys, wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, evening, night, wherever you are. Thank you, guys, for joining me today, of course, for the latest Manchester United news, guys. Now, look, news circulating around Man United is rife as usual. But before I start, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and smash a like on the video. If you guys can do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me, you guys. You're absolutely lovely people. Now, guys, let's get straight into it. According to Jan Agafjortov, Gianluigi Donnarumma has not closed the door on a move to Manchester United. Of course, Donnarumma was rumoured to be going to Manchester City over the last couple of weeks, but apparently, according to Jan Agafjortov, Manchester United remain front runners for the Italian signature as he is leaving PSG. Now, this is very interesting news coming from Jan Agafjortov. Jan Agafjortov, of course, is the ex-Swindon player, works on German TV at the moment. What I would say about that, yeah, look, you know what, he does get some things right. He got the Sesko thing right, of course, but obviously that was due to his German football and everything like that. But he does have an inside knowledge about what's going on in regards to transfers, in regards to, certain players. And I wouldn't take what he says with a pinch of salt because, he does get things right, to be honest with you, because he does have an inside knowledge, being an ex-pro as well. He's saying that Manchester United are still interested in Donnarumma, and Donnarumma is interested in going to Manchester United. And it's not quite necessarily the foregone conclusion that people were predicting only a couple of weeks ago when Manchester City were in for Donnarumma. Now, it's gone very quiet around Donnarumma. It has gone very quiet in regards to the Manchester City move. Nothing has happened. Nothing has materialized in regards to that. But what I would say is that, look, you know what? That would be a fantastic signing for Manchester United, an absolute world-class signing for Man United. But will it happen? Will it happen? I don't know. Now, time is getting ticking, and we're getting like 11 days now, guys. 11 days until the end of the transfer window, of course. And after that, we got until January. We've got to do business. We've got to make moves now. Otherwise, we're going to be in the same position at the end of the season, guys. We are. Because, look, it's going to improve. We did play better. We all know we played better. But the problem is Man United need a midfielder and they need a goalkeeper. And you know what? We keep singing that same track, that same song every single day. Goalkeeper, midfielder, the same story every single day because it's what Man United need. And I'm shocked that Man United have not got this situation sorted by now. It's ridiculous. Man United not getting a midfielder in or goalkeeper in. I mean, you might not, look, some things never work out. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. Regardless what you want, it just doesn't work out. And, we tried to get a midfielder, we tried to get a goalkeeper, and we didn't get it. But one thing that great clubs do, great owners do, is that they always have a contingency plan. They always have a backup plan to go ahead. Now, I'm not saying that they haven't. Ineos have been incredibly secretive in the way they've been doing things. Their cards have been very close to their chest. So what I would say is that you never know what's going on behind the scenes. But all we can evaluate things on is what time we have left. We've got 11 days, and that's not a lot of time considering it took 7 days plus to sign Sesko, 50 days to sign in Bumo. So we have to obviously be very concerned. We have to be concerned. Obviously, I'm going to wait until the 1st of September before throwing my rattles at my pram, at the end of the day, because you know what, you can be overly angry and annoyed. But at the same time, you're thinking, all right, 1st of September, let's give it to 1st of September. At least I have that few days to just think, you know what, maybe they will make something happen, maybe they won't. In regards to the midfield position, of course, the same names that have been circulated around in regards to Lucien Ngume, of course, a great player, of course, Man United have been heavily linked with. And apparently, this is Manchester United's priority midfield signing at the moment. Now, that is good news for me because it is a player that I want. Obviously, Adam Wharton would be lovely, but Adam Wharton's going to cost an absolute fortune. Manchester United can get the likes of Ngume for 35 million release clause. According to rumours, though, Manchester United have put a 27.5 million offer in for Ngume, which is a little bit disrespectful again. And we go back to the Baleba situation, of course, which is disrespectful as well. And this seems to be quite a theme here. This is a theme, Man United selling clubs short, disrespecting clubs, lying, manipulating. And it's not good. It's not good because there were a lot of lies told about that Baleba deal. I know it for a fact. There were a lot of lies told about that Baleba deal. Brighton and Hove Albion wanted the fee. They gave their price. Man United basically gave less than half of the price that they were asking. So Brighton did not want to further negotiate with that because they know they're not going to get anywhere like that. So obviously, this is bad and this is not good, because if you wanted to go in for Baleba next summer, which is the rumor, kicking the ball down the road again until we get there, you know, they're not going to want to sell him to Manchester United. And above all, again, as we said, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, Arsenal, Real Madrid, Barcelona are going to be interested in Baleba if he has a really good season. You rest on your laurels in football. If you rest on your laurels and you snooze, you know, you're going to lose. And that's how it is at the end of the day, guys. Absolutely. But I big up everyone who's joined me today. You absolute legends. Thank you so much for joining me. You absolute diamonds, guys. Thank you, guys. Big up Jamie. Hope you're doing well. Big up yourself. Big up Ephraim. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good afternoon, Sal. How we scout so much players who does not have the right attitude. This was the problem before, wasn't it? This has been the problem since Alex Ferguson retired. Man United have brought in players that have not had the right attitude. When Alex Ferguson was was managing Manchester United, one of the key areas he used to look at in regards to signing new players was actually the attitude of the player. What the player does in his private time. Is the player married? Does he have a girlfriend? This, that, you know? And he used to get to know the family of the player as well. So then you get to paint an accurate picture of what that player actually is, what he's like, his personality. Recently, we look at a player, we think, oh, that's a talented player. We want that player. We didn't sign him. Why do you think Manchester United were never in for the likes of Zlatan Ibrahimovic? Tell me. Why do you think Alex Ferguson didn't want Zlatan Ibrahimovic? Attitude. It's what it is, you know, and that is why Alex Ferguson didn't make moves for these type of players. Alex Ferguson used to be religious on the attitude of player, etc., etc. So this is why Man United, over the past 13 years, have basically just signed players willy-nilly, not looking into them, not looking at their personality, their private life, etc., what they do. Are they loud? Do they like partying and things like that? But, you know, what I would say, I hope that this new part ownership is looking at that. But at the moment, I'm hoping they look at anything, because we're not getting anything at the moment. But I'm hoping that they do make moves, of course, guys. Absolutely. Garnacho, Anthony, and Sancho are the best, for example, that, yeah, bad signings. You know, three players that are very petulant, in my opinion. Three players that are very, I don't know, I wouldn't say arrogant. Some of them are arrogant, definitely. But I would say four with Rashford as well. Rashford is still at the football club. Let's not forget, Marcus Rashford has not been sold. You know, Marcus Rashford could come walking back into Old Trafford next summer. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So Marcus Rashford has not been sold. We've not sold anyone. So these four players are a problem at Man United, a big problem at Man United. You know what I mean? And we need to get rid of this culture. And this is what I've been banging on about for ages, for months. Culture at the club needs to change. Culture at the club needs to change. We need to change the culture. The culture of the club is bad. And here we go. Lo and behold, the culture of the club is bad. What we've done over the last 13 years, we signed players that absolutely epitomize bad culture. You know, and that's what it is. And look, it's going to be tough to get rid of that culture, because obviously there is still a backlog of terrible decisions at Man United, which equals bad culture. And I hope that this gets cleared at the football club. At the moment, we've not really made a move. We've not really got rid of players. We've not sold any players. We put valuations on players. We want to sell players. We talk a lot that we're going to sell players. But in regards to getting rid of those players, it's absolute no-no. Well, this is why we wanted a full sale. This is why we wanted the Glazers out, the debt cleared. It's so we can get rid of players that we don't need, pay off their contracts, that's it. Now, you look at the likes of Jadon Sancho, look at the likes of Anthony and Garnacho. If Man United paid off their contracts, Man United would have to pay close up to, 80 to 100 million for them three alone? I don't think Man United could do that, especially if they bring in Luke Shaw into the equation as well. Imagine Man United had to sell Luke Shaw. Do you know what I mean? Jamie, Douglas Luiz Forest, here we go, 30 million euros. Up the, big up, Jamie. Basically, what I would say, yes, Nottingham Forest to sign another player. And not only that, Nottingham Forest to sign a player that we were interested in. And this is what annoys me and frustrates me, because we could have picked up Douglas Luiz, sorry. We could have picked up Douglas Luiz for 30 million, a measly 30 million. Now, I would like to think, Jamie, I'm not putting my eggs in the basket. I'm not believing 100%. But I would like to think that Man United have plans for a midfielder. I like to think that they got a plan to sign a midfielder before the 1st of September deadline. I hope so. there are better players out there than Douglas Luiz. Of course there is. But I would like to think that Man United are making moves, and I hope they will. If they're not making moves, and then we all know where we stand, and we might as well not support them ever. Never believe in them again. Because this window here, this is one of the most important windows, I would say, and I'm not exaggerating, in Manchester United's history. Because where we finished last season, how we finished the season with the Europa League defeat. As I said, we can go two ways. We can go further into the abyss, or we can go further up. We could go up, not further up, because we can't go much up, or we can go up. And so far, if I was to analyze the window right now, Jamie, it's an absolute failure. It's a farce. It's embarrassing. It's insulting. There's a number of words I could put out there that represent what Ineos have done this summer so far. They've not got rid of any players. They signed 3 players, which they took an arm and age to sign. Cunha was signed in the last window. It was in the last fiscal year, the last, obviously, financial year. So when I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at it objectively, and I'm thinking, you know what? If the window stopped now, I believe this will be one of the worst transfer windows, pound for pound, in Manchester United's history. And I'll tell you why, right? It'd be up there in the top 5. Because at the end of the day, what Man United needed was astronomical. It was astronomical. We needed a massive window, this one. A huge window, this one. We needed a huge window. We needed players out. We needed players in. And we've got 3 players in and nobody out. And a loan for Rashford. That, for me, is an embarrassment. With all the talk. Now, I'm hearing a lot of news about, Ineos talking about how the fan base should back Ruben Amorim. Make sure you back Ruben Amorim. But I'm sorry here. I'm sorry. How can the fan base back Ruben Amorim when you are not backing Ruben Amorim? You're not backing Ruben Amorim. You should practice what you preach. You go and back Ruben Amorim because that is your job. You have not backed Ruben Amorim yet. You're giving him 3 players. Granted, good players. They bought some good players. But that doesn't make you go from 15th all the way up to 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. It makes you go from 15th to 8th if we're lucky. So what you got to do, you got to make sure we are challenging next year. Because when I'm looking at the other teams, I'm looking at Chelsea, I'm looking at Arsenal, I'm looking at Liverpool, I'm looking at Man City and Newcastle and Tottenham on the wings. And I'm looking at these teams and I'm thinking, you know what? Their plan is to get in the Champions League. They want to get in the Champions League. The reason they want to get in the Champions League is because it's 100 million. It's 100 million. And they get 100 million for it. Absolutely. Big up Ephraim, hope you're well. Good to see you. Big up Jamie, good to see you. Of course, Sal, why do we not tell Onana to find a club like we do with others? Because at the end of the day, Onana's contracted to Manchester United, and if Manchester United told him to find another club, he could just say no, and then he would just dig his heels in and say that. As well, if I bring this into it, Man United cannot tell Onana you're surplus to requirements, because if they take that to Onana right now, we got Fulham on Sunday. And most likely Onana will be playing that game. It doesn't make logical sense to tell Onana right now, you're not playing, mate. We don't need you. You're not good enough. Because if he does need to play, then what's going to happen to his confidence? What's going to happen to his morale? What's going to happen to him feeling that I care about this? He's going to go, F this, I don't really care about this. He's going to be like that, isn't he? And that's what I'm talking about. You can't just tell a player, days before a fight, a big game against Fulham, you can't tell them that, you know what, you're not part of my plans, mate. You can't. It's not the right time to do it. You have to have a plan for him first. You have to have a buyer for him first. You have to have people coming in for him, people who are eager to sign him. At the moment, that doesn't look like coming. No one wants to sign Onana. At the moment, there was rumors about Inter Milan, granted, but Inter Milan have got Sommer in goal. They're not gonna buy another goalkeeper. Hell no. And when I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking like Onana, the only thing Onana can do is basically be on the bench and push a move out if he doesn't play. That's the only thing he can do, because ultimately there is the World Cup coming at the end of the season and he would want to get in that World Cup squad. There's also the African nations that he wants to play in. So we got to look at that and think, you know what? The only thing Man United could do is exactly what they do with Garnacho, which is putting them in reserves. Look, I'm not saying just put them in reserves and leave him there. I'm talking about bringing them into the first day, match day squads. And I'm telling you now, make an example of the likes of Garnacho. Now, Onana's nowhere near Garnacho. Onana has not spoken, has not been rude about Man United, has not liked tweets, has not been walking around with an Aston Villa top. Onana hasn't done that. Onana's been quite respectful. You know, the other lot, however, have been absolutely very disrespectful. Anthony's been passive, disrespectful. Sancho's just a disrespectful, petulant child. And then you got Garnacho, who's just a sport brat who wants to go to Chelsea and nobody else. You know. Big up. MSK, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're well, of course. Seriously, we need a goalkeeper. Even the press and the opponents see that. Absolutely, we will be exploited in that position this season if we dealt with. Yeah, we will be, mate. Because what happens when other teams see that corner from Arsenal? What do they think? What do they think? They're going to think, even though it was a foul. I know it was a foul. It was a foul. But what do people, the teams that are playing us over the next few weeks think? Get a crossing on the line of the goal. Bend that crossing. Make it dangerous for the goalkeeper. He's going to slip up. That's all they're going to do. And what they'll do in training, and don't be surprised, guys, if this happens with Fulham on Sunday. They're going to cross the ball. Every corner they're going to get, they're going to try and get a corner, and they're going to cross the ball. They're going to cross the ball. They're going to cross the ball. And then when it comes to it, you know what I mean, we might make a mistake because law of averages with the goalkeepers we got at the moment, there's always a mistake hidden, of course, guys, absolutely. But to take it back to a little bit of element of positivity, guys, in regards to Gianluigi Donnarumma, I do think there's some substance here. I don't think it's a given. I don't think, you know what, we're going to sign Donnarumma. I'm not saying that. What I am saying that there is a possibility that Man United signed Donnarumma. And if Man United signed Donnarumma, that is a massive signing. Let me tell you, that is a game-changing signing, in my opinion. It's a game changer. Donnarumma, for me, is the best goalkeeper in the world. As simple as that. The best goalkeeper in the world. And if we manage to sign him, it will fix our squad. It will fix our team tenfold. You will see a big improvement. Of course, when we're looking at Man United in the midfield, obviously we've got Bruno. Bruno plays every single game. He's never dropped. And that is a big problem at Man United as well, that players are never dropped. And you know, certain players are given favoritism by the manager. And I think that's wrong at the end of the day. And I do think Bruno needs to be dropped sometimes because I believe that Bruno should be number 10 or nothing. Unless Ruben Amorim changes his system to a 4-2-3-1, I don't see Bruno fitting into this team. I think he's bad for the system. He runs a lot. But that is to his detriment. That is, you know, actually a bad thing because when you look at his heat map, he's all over the pitch. He should be around the middle. He's leaving our midfield exposed. And this is why, let me tell you guys, I don't necessarily blame Ugarte too much. I don't necessarily want to lay into Ugarte too much, even though he was poor at the weekend. I understand that. But I don't want to lay it into him too much because obviously what's going on with Bruno and the way Bruno plays his football and leaves the other midfielder exposed. You know, Douglas Louise transfers. Big up, Jamie. Not a single player sold. I had some idiot in the chat yesterday telling me Ineos have done great job this summer. 0 sales, mate. Look, mate, they haven't done a good job, mate. Anyone who says that Ineos have done a good job, right? And look, listen. Let me just debunk the training facilities as well. Before they purchased the Man United on the 27% vanity project. Before they did that, they had to agree on the investment of the training facilities. They didn't want to do it. They didn't do it willy-nilly. They didn't do it out of heart. And oh, we need to do this. Don't believe all that malarkey. They did it because the Glazers had to pay for the training facilities, and the Glazers didn't want to pay for it. So they got Jim Ratcliffe to pay for it, part of the 27%. That's what they did. Now, all the good things that have come out of Man United over this last few weeks and months have come from the Man United fan base. Have come from the fact that Man United make money. They buy merchandise, they buy season tickets, they buy tickets. It's Man United fans who are the ones who are giving them the money that they are spending. They are spending it, right? And that what they should be spending our money. They should be spending Manchester United fan base money because it's our money at the end of the day. And this is what I would say about it. They've failed this summer so far. Yes, they can redeem it. And I would admit it. If they redeem it, guys, I'll admit it. Sod's honor, guys, I would admit it if they fix it by the 1st of September. Even though they're late, even though it's going to be touching the third game of the season, I will say, look, you know what? I was wrong about them. They done all right this summer. Even though we needed about 10 players in, not bloody 3 or 4 or 5 even. The minimum I was saying bring in is 7. You know, and here we are with 3 at the moment. Yes, if someone told me at the end of last season, yeah, we signed Mbeumo, we signed Cunha, we signed Sesko, I would have said, fantastic, great. But what about the midfield? What about the goalkeeper? That's what I would have said, you know. Emiski, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Big up yourself. Kenny, good. How are you doing, my friend? Hope you're well. If Garnacho doesn't end up at Chelsea, make him play for the under-21s and recruit the money for him during the January transfer window. Big up. Yeah, Douglas Luiz is going to Forest, snoozing and losing, another top target. There you go. And this is what makes me think, Kenny, this is what makes me think that these guys may have something up their sleeve. Let's wait and see until the 1st of September. Let's wait and see that if they have something up their sleeve, if they're planning something for the transfer window. Now, if Man United go out there and sign Donnarumma and sign a midfielder, I'm going to say, mate, they done well. They done all right for the circumstances. They done all right. Yes, you can't sign every target. They missed out on Baleba. Fair enough. They replaced him with another top player, i.e. Lamine Camara or Lucian Ngume, you know, or even a Huymond, for goodness sake, you know, or Yavi Guerra or a Mikel Yorogiza. I mean, those type of players. I mean, if we sign one of them, I thought, okay, oh, great. They mean business. They've got someone in there. They didn't get the top target, but they got someone in there. But Donnarumma's a top target. Donnarumma is one of the players that I've been advocating for a long time. But will he go to Man United? I mean, Jan Agafiotov, of course, believes there's a chance. And when Jan Agafiotov believes, of course, who am I to believe other than, yes, I mean, I hope he does. Do you know what I mean? Big up, Carl. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're good. Hi, Sal. The talk on social media world is that Gume hasn't got any pace. I know his stats are good, but do you or community know if this is true? I've not checked his vids. Look, at the end of the day, Steve, what I would say to you, big up, Steve, by the way. Hope you're well. Hope you had a good day, mate, or a good week so far. What I would say is that I've watched Gume since the rumors came out from Sevilla. He's not a Baleba. I want people to clear that, but he's a very powerful player. He's not the fastest player in the world. I wouldn't say he's absolute, you know, blistering pace. He's not, but he has enough pace in that middle. But the overriding strength of Baleba is exactly that, strength. He has strength. He has power. I think it's something that we've been missing over the years, which is strength and power in that midfield. We've been really handicapped in regards to that. I do believe that our players in midfield and other parts of the pitch as well are a bit lightweight. They're a bit weak, so to speak. And I think bringing in a Baleba would have helped us immensely. But bringing in, obviously, Gume would help us immensely as well. A very good player. Lamine Camara, a very good player. Huymond does a job, a good player. You know, you got, obviously, Mikel Yorogiza of Athletic Bilbao. Good player. You know, there's players everywhere. You know, Angelo Stiller, good player. There's players everywhere. It's up to Man United to do the deal, and hopefully we do. Sal, Garnacho reject Bayern Munich. Yes, Garnacho rejected Bayern Munich. Garnacho is waiting for Chelsea. He's waiting for Chelsea. And if Chelsea don't pull out the money, if Chelsea don't make it happen and give us the money, then he's not going anywhere. Lowell Camavinga linked is bullshit. I wouldn't say bullshit, Jamie. At the end of the day, I wouldn't say that. I would say that Man United are interested in Camavinga, but it's unlikely that that's going to happen given Camavinga's injury record. Real Madrid are looking to sell Camavinga, right? I don't know what sources you have, but they do talk a lot of crap, mate, a lot of the time. But what I would say, mate, is that, Camavinga has been linked to Man United. It's unlikely to happen, right? This notion of bullshit and that is just a bit dun-dun. You know, we don't do that here, mate. You know, what I would say is that it's an unlikely thing, right? And basically, he's an injury-prone player. Man United don't need injury-prone players. That's what I said. I mean that with no disrespect. But, you know, when I read things like that, it's like, you know, this is bullshit. So basically calling Stretford Post bullshit. I don't report crap, mate. So what I would say is this, right? I would say that it's unlikely to happen. Man United are aware of Camavinga's situation. But I would argue, constructively in regards to Camavinga is that he has an injury record and we can't sign players with injury. Now, there's a reason that Real Madrid sell players to Manchester United. Look at the history. Varane, Casemiro, players of that ilk. Look at the history. What is the overriding similarities with those players? They're either finished or they're injury prone. There's no reason that Real Madrid would sell a player to Man United unless there is a problem with that player. And there is a problem with Camavinga. But that's not to say that he has not been offered to Man United. Man United are not aware of Camavinga. Man United are not interested in Camavinga, because I'm sure they are. 13 likes. Come on, guys. Don't forget to smash the likes, guys. Jason Park, Dorgu, big up, Kenny. Hope you're well. Guys, don't forget to smash the like. We need to get to at least 50 likes by the end of the show. Hi, Aman. What's going on, my friend? Moon. What's going on, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Really good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Guys, don't forget to smash the likes. We're 86 in the house. In theory, I should have 86 likes, of course, guys. Absolutely. Hello, Sal. Big up, Sniper Man. Long time no see. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope everything is blessed with you, my friend. Hope everything's blessed for you. This is hilarious. It just shares a 26. Jamie, stop swearing, mate. Stop swearing straight, mate. It's doesn't make your point any more believable or authoritative, mate. Just talk. You know, I know you've got problems, but please don't do that, please. Fergie Sal, maybe it's me, but I don't think Ahmad, because I read out every comment. I'm kind enough to read out every comment, so please be careful what you say. Sal, maybe it's me, but I don't think Ahmad and Mbeumo work on the right side. Ahmad seems to get in the positions, and Mbeumo said, absolutely great point, Fergie71. I've been thinking about this. When you're playing an inverted winger, basically, when you're playing an inverted winger, but you got two number 10s, I never believed in the inverted winger thing. It's crap for me. I like playing right players on the right, left-footed players on the left. That's what I've always believed in my whole life, because I believe it disrupts the balance of the team. And I don't know whether people are thinking, but I think that when a player goes forward on the right side, for argument's sake, and cuts in, he does get in the way, doesn't he? He does get in the way. When you keep that ball on the width, when you keep it on the wing, right, you cross that ball, it's more space. There's more space. There's more room for danger. Cross that ball first time. When's the last time we saw a first time cross at Man United? It's all dillying and dallying. Get the ball, cut in, looking around. You're running into... Look, guys, I was a defender, right? The best thing you can possibly do is play against a person who's playing on the wrong side, because they cut in. It's so easy to defend that, because all a person does when they cut in is they leave it predictable. So when they cut in, what can they do? There's defenders right in front of you, two centre-backs right in front of you, CDM behind you. What are you going to do? The only thing you can do is pass an eye of the needle ball through to a player, or you can basically shoot. So I want to see players crossing that ball. I saw some crosses against Fiorentina in a friendly, and I thought, wow, that made me excited. When we got Sesko playing, that made me excited. But as soon as Sesko came on the pitch, guys, no crosses were there to be seen. Now, I don't want to see another situation with Rasmus Højlund here. I don't want to see it. I'm not seeing any crosses, and I would drill that into those players. Those wingers there, especially Ahmad, because Dorgu crosses, right? Ahmad doesn't cross. Ahmad is greedy. He's got that greedy disease like Garnacho's got. And Garnacho got slaughtered for it. Oh, but it's Ahmad. He fits a narrative. He goes forward, cut in, glorified Aaron Lennon. We don't need no glorified Aaron Lennons in our football team. We need players who get that ball up, one look up, cross the ball in the box. People running into the box. There's no wonder that Manchester United don't have players in the box when we're never crossing it. No one expects the cross to come in, you know? Big up 37-1. Big up Bexy. Prediction for Fulham on Saturday. I would say Manchester United will win the game 2-1. Bexy. 2-1, Man United. I think Man United win the game just about. I think it'll be a tight game, difficult game. It always is at Craven Cottage. But I think, just like in the past, I think that Man United will negotiate a win. I hope we win 4-3 or 4-0. I really do hope that. You know, that would be lovely. It would make a change, wouldn't it? But I think Man United will win just about, Bexy. What's yours? Zlatan is one of the best athletic person of this generation. Zlatan is one of the best generation. He's not your generation. He's not this generation. He's the last generation. He's athletic, but he was never good enough for Man United in the 90s. Alex Ferguson never wanted him. There were better strikers around Europe. Zlatan is just a representation of how football has regressed these days. You know, he's been playing since the 90s. He's my age, roughly. And you know what I would say is that he's athletic. He's a martial artist, but I would say that no, he wasn't the most athletic. He's one of the most, but he wasn't the most athletic. But also, he wasn't like, if I look at the 90s and I look at when Zlatan Ibrahimovic and the early turn of the century, he wasn't in my top 5 strikers in Europe. No, I rated a lot of strikers higher than him, and I would say that, you know, good striker, but not an absolute world beater. Like he believes his own height, so to speak, but he's a good striker. I wouldn't say he's one of the best strikers of all time. No, I wouldn't. I think he's one of the best popularity. I think he's one of the best characters. But you don't understand, Sniper Man, because you weren't around. You're 16, 17 years old. You don't know how football was, mate. So I don't think you really know what we were witnessing back in them days and why we don't believe that these players are. You gas players like that because that's all you know. You know, and that's from my generation. And the fact that we got players from my generation that are better than players now, that goes to show you that your generation, yours, are dud. And there's nothing coming up. You know, the fact that, you know, there's literally a handful of players available, you know, that are decent. You know, it just goes to show you where everything is at the moment. Kenny. Ephraim, he only wants Chelsea. Yeah. Jamie, one more, mate. I'm going to have to block you, brother. Jamie, don't do that, mate. Don't do that. I told you once. Big up, Sal. I don't get why other fans and media look at what was spent on the manager instead of if he was given what he was, etc. The profile of player and the gaps that need to be bigger. I don't get why fans and media look at what was spent on a manager instead. I know, mate. I know, because it's a fickle behavior, mate. It's a fickle behavior. Be careful, Jamie, mate. You know, we get on, but you know what? The swearing, mate. The swearing. One more, Jamie. I'm going to have to call it quits with you, man. Honestly. People whinge about Sancho, but United signed it all off. Yeah. Yeah. The incompetence of Man United. It's not even a 2 score this window. We know, mate. We know you're angry, man. Also, Sal, would you rate Forlan's time at Man United? Was it better than Atletico Madrid? No. He was a killer at Atletico Madrid. The one thing I would say about Diego Forlan is that he scored very important goals for Man United. Obviously, Liverpool is one of them. Chelsea's another one in the last minute, of course. Sniper Man, that's all he's good for. Onana scouting. I agree with the window is a failure so far because we knew that that attack, midfield, and goalkeeper need to be filled and still have 4 or 5 players that the manager didn't want. Absolutely, as I said, is a failure. Bexy, I hope Onana doesn't start on Sunday. I think by in there talks to his defense a bit. Onana is a radio silent, not United's level. None of them are United's level. Bexy is, in my opinion, but. Bayinder's a little bit better. What's the votes, by the way, in regards to Bayinder? I was going to do a poll on Bayinder, but I don't think it's here. Never mind. Both ain't good enough, Bexy. They're both not good enough. Yeah, they're both like got weaknesses, big weaknesses. Ellen, big up. What's going on? What happened to all the interesting transfer news we had 2 days ago? Now everything is Garnacho being a scorn and no light in the end of the tunnel. Big up, Ellen. What I would say is that we're going to have to wait and see to the 1st of September. I believe that something will happen. What I'm hearing is that something's going to happen. I think we have to play it by ear at the moment. And let's see what goes on. A lot is going to happen between now and between September the 1st. And it has to do. It has to, of course. What happened to Sunday will happen again. Put a bet on it, Jamie. I don't think... I don't change Ruben Amorim won't see Christmas. We haven't seen it before with these players. If Ruben Amorim is sacked from his position as Manchester United manager, it will be an absolute disgrace. An absolute disgrace. And I know there's going to be people out there, other content creators and things like that, who are going to be like celebrating his sacking, forgetting about the window, forgetting about, what has gone on this last few weeks, disgraceful. It would be disgraceful. It would be absolute travesty. And then here we go again. Another manager comes in, backlog of players. Same thing is going to happen. What makes you think that those guys are going to back the new manager? Do you know what I mean? What makes you think that? I don't think he's going to go anywhere, plainly because of that fact of that. Jamie, Ineos are too incompetent to deal with this. Look how much they offered for Baleba. What an insulting bid it was, absolutely. More. Donnarumma is dog shit, best goalkeeper in the world. More dud opinion, mate. Donnarumma is the best goalkeeper in the world, mate. Opinion's dog shit, brother. Sorry, mate, but it is. European champion, Champions League winner, mate. Come on, man. If you don't rate Donnarumma, who the hell do you rate? Madness. Some of them. I appreciate your opinion, but dog shit is really bad. It's a really bad one. It's one of the worst opinions I've ever heard. If Amram benches Sesko like he did and gets that lineup wrong, then it's unforgivable that he did against Arsenal, got it wrong. And Boomer and Cunha was solid versus Burnham. Amram benches Sesko. I agree that, Will. I agree with that. I absolutely concur. He has to play Sesko and Boomer and Cunha up front because I was fuming at the weekend. People saw me. I was fuming at the weekend, the fact that we played a false number 9. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. Because obviously they're not match fit and blah, 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 and all this stuff, all this lovely stuff. But what I would say is that if it comes to the weekend and I don't see Sesko in that lineup with him, Boomer and Cunha, and I see bloody Mason Mount as a false number 9, I'm going to be pulling out whatever hair I have left because I'm tired of it. He's got to play the best team. He's got to play the new players. That's what he's got to do. Honestly, seriously, we can't be just waiting, resting on our laurels and waiting to see what happens and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Big up, Will. Where was I? Ineos 59 bid for, yeah, crazy. As I said this morning, bottled the Baleba transfer, absolutely. Frank J, what's going on, my friend? Hope we're doing well. I'm already resigning myself to the fact that we won't sign send him in a goalkeeper this season. I don't see any clear intentions from the board. You don't see it, Frank, but we never know what's going on behind the scenes. I like to think there is. I'm going to give it to the 1st of September rather than sacrificing myself by saying this, that, because there's a lot of people who are understandably concerned, but there's a lot of people, Jamie's one of them, who will be overly excited 1 minute and absolutely over the top the next minute. It's not the end of the transfer window. Let's wait and see what happens. I'm not saying that, by the way, I'm not saying that something's going to happen. What I'm saying is this: I would wait and I will see what happens. Let's see. Let's play it by ear. If things don't change, big up, Stephen. We are being played. They have the funds. Yeah, they do. They have put the wallets away because they want to make do with what they got. But then they're not gonna make any money. Then, are they? If they do that, you have to put money in to achieve money. They're not gonna get any money if they put their wallets away. What they're gonna do? They're not gonna get any money. And that's what it is, because you have to invest to reinvest. More? No, it's not, mate. Tell me you don't watch football without telling me you watch football, mate. You're just looking at his wages and things like that. Donnarumma is an absolute baller of a goalkeeper. It's a dead opinion, mate. More. Graham, please, mate. I watch football. I study football. Mate, he's a flipping world-class goalkeeper, mate. I don't know who you rate. You said he's worse than Onana, mate. Go to bed, brother. Honest to God. Go to bed, my Graham. If goodness me. You need to have a hot cocoa and just go to bed. Angry Jins said on his Twitch stream two goes ago that they are like volleyball players that would rather get Heaton in goal or get a keeper. I don't like to listen to Angry Jins because it's a bit of a clown. But, what I would say is that, he does things for clicks, and I don't really like that sort of thing. I would say he makes a point. I heard Mark Goldbridge saying exactly the same thing. I think it's just rinse and repeat opinion. But we know that, it is volleyball and all this stuff that people are talking about. Loads of people have said that. Ingrid Jins has been, I don't even think that guy likes football. He just been just vibes. Sniper Man, what has the board done lately for prevent us from underestimating him? Just because of the free signings, even Tottenham can sign 3 players. You know why we're waiting for Chelsea to play against us and do the Ronaldo's Sue celebration and mug the United fans off. Believe me, he doesn't want to do that. Trust me. Believe me. More, you're just coming on one, mate. He's a great player. Agume's a good player, and you throw things out there. You're throwing everything against the wall and hoping something sticks, mate. We need a Cunha type of player in the midfield, powerful ball playing, progressive player. We do. I know, Jamie, but you'll be careful, mate, with the anger and the swearing and this and that. I'm sure Agume is that type of player. I'm not sure. I mean, of that type of player. Agume is a good player. Stopgap Dan. Oh my goodness me! More, please, mate. I know, Jamie, but just be careful, brother. You know I got a lot of love for you, bro, but come on, mate. We got to be careful on this stream, mate. I've got people after me, man. I think Douglas Luiz and Jackson would be good for United on loan and then buy a goalkeeper. We need a big spare squad because injuries will happen. It would have been, but Douglas Luiz has gone to Nottingham Forest. Have you heard? He's gone to Nottingham Forest today. Here we go. Have you heard about that, Steve? Goalkeeper is very important. Let's not get another squad player. Let's wait for the right opportunity to get Baleba type of player. And Agumo is that type of player, Stanley. Speaking blindly. Who is that Athletic Bilbao player? Mikel Yorgiza. Mikel Yorgiza. You know, he's the player. Absolutely. Exactly, Jamie. You know, trust me. I know Wagwan, man. I know. Basically, I've had it. Trust me, bro. Big up, Sal, and I hope you're well. Big up, EC. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. That's the fundamentals of defending. He's right. Sal, why does Amram prefer wrong-footed players on the wing-backs when you already have two number 10s to play in the wing-back? I don't know, mate, but he's not the only manager that does that. Preferably, we would like two players who are both-footed, isn't it? They definitely need to cross the ball or at least a season over again. What do they do in training? I just think they ignore it. I actually think now that they ignore crossing the ball. Roy Michael, good afternoon, Roy Michael. How you doing? And everyone, if we sign Donnarumma and having the lit in the side, wow, what a fantastic combination. Much respect to you. Roy Michael would be an amazing combination. People are looking at the wages, thinking about, oh, but he's got this much wages, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about that. We got rid of Rashford. He was on 300,000. You know, and we're going to get rid of other players. We're not paying it out of our pocket, so let them pay the wages. He's a great goalkeeper, dominating goalkeeper. Good afternoon, Sanjay. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Big up, Asif. Hey, Sally boy, you look like Italian Casanova today. What's up with you? Big up, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for the compliment. I'll say it as a compliment. We signed Zlatan's Regan. Give Sesko time. We signed a beast. Absolutely, Jamie. What are today's updates, Sal? Being busy at work? Scroll back, smash a like, write a comment. Acid, please. Yeah, I can't go through. I read hundreds of messages, brother. Ephraim, Sal, do you think Sesko will start against Fulham? I like to hope so, mate. I really do hope so. That's what I'll say. No way. Chatterbox is on 4:30. No, it's not 4:30. It is 5. Chatterbox is on UK time 4 p.m. and it is on UAE time 7 p.m. I go by UK time. It's up there, mate. It's right up there. It's up there. It's live in living color, guys. 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock night running, my friend. In my generation, it was Cole, York, Giggs, Figo, Ronaldo, David Sader, players like that. Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it. Tell me about it, Jamie. And you tell me about players these days. And you tell me about the pool of talent that is these days. Mad, isn't it? It's actually true. Footballers of the past I can relate to. Proper footballers, warrior mindset, lived the brief football. The last of the old school were Ronaldo, Messi. Yep, they were groomed by warriors. Absolutely, mate. That's exactly right. And nowadays, it's not even a fraction of what it used to be. There is a whole number of reasons behind that. Obviously, social media is one of them. Gaming is another one. People are less inclined. Like when I was a young kid, when I was a young lad growing up, I used to go out. As soon as I finished school, I would get my football and off to the park and play football. I would argue that I was probably better than a lot of players that are there today. You know, because I used to play football every day. It was my life. You know, and what they do these days is that they go home, you know, put everything down and go straight on their phones, or they go straight on the game, or the 1,000 channels that they're watching on TV, you know? Me too, Jamie. Me too. Me too. To be honest, Sal, the team looked better. It was the first game, and we cannot come to the conclusion at this time to go and predict the season. If the game, but Asif, as I told you before the game, I warned you, it was the wrong team to play. If Man United played Ahmad and Sesko at the start, Man United would not lose that game. Let me tell you that right now. I knew it. I told it, and I was angry because I had that in vision, right? The false number 9 doesn't work, and it was wrong. He made it wrong. We performed well possession-wise, but possession doesn't win games. I would much rather us play like prime Stoke and win the game 1-0 than play like we did and lose the game 1-0. You know? He needs to play Sesko, Mbeumo, and Cunha. Forget this false number 9 business. We will not score. We will not score. He needs to look at the fact that when we were attacking in that game, look at how many times there was no one in the box. We need Sesko. Amram will see out this season. Let's hope so. Man, I miss Jamie. Man, I miss players like Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, David Arviso, Seedorf, R9. There's so many. Roberto Baggio, Del Piero, Trezeguet. Want me to go on? You know, Darlene. You know, another player there, brilliant player. Jurgen Klinsmann, want to talk about him. Romario, want to talk about him. You know, Rivaldo. You know, I could go on and on. I could go Alan Shearer. I could talk about Alan Shearer, Stan Collymore, Robbie Fowler, Andy Cole. You know, Teddy Sheringham. We could go on and on and on and on. Nowadays, name as many players as that right now in the whole of the world who are anywhere near as good as them. You can't. And I'm just talking about strikers here, you know. Sunday's goal incident reflects back to United's Premier League agenda against United. United never complained against it. The agenda did cost us points every season in the past, and the streak continued in the first game. Now, there's a number of things that happened, Asif, at the weekend, which I envisioned and I knew would happen. I had a feeling that something stupid would happen like that. You know, what I said is that the goal for Arsenal was a foul. Whatever anyone says, it was a foul. 2 fouls in the same instance. Mason Mount was being pulled and the goalkeeper was having an elbow. Right? Then there was the Cunha situation, which was a penalty. So in theory, when you're looking at the way the game went, in theory, Man United should have won the game 1-0. Right? But that is fine margins. Now, I don't want to see this again. And as you said there, Asif, you said it right there. The players, and that is Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes throws his arms around for no reason. He needs to make himself bloody useful. We had a poor game at the weekend, gave away the ball for the goal, gave away the ball in the Europa League final, which led to us losing the Europa League final, which is why we're not in the Champions League now. What he needs to do, right? He needs to go up to the referee, because only the captain could go to the referee. He needs to go to the referee and say, VAR, VAR, VAR. That's what he needs to do. No, stop. VAR. That's what he needs to do. I'm seeing them do this. You know, you need to be angry. You need to be like, that was a penalty, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? Go mad. Go mad. And then he's going to have no choice but to look back at it again and again and again. And obviously what happens is that the VAR assistant will look at it and then they'll like, oh yeah, maybe he's got a point. You know? But deep down, these referees don't want to give Manchester United anything. They don't want to give Man United anything. And that's the problem. And this is a theory that is going to go out there and it's going to be over and over again. Don't be surprised if it happens against Fulham. You know, don't be surprised if it happens the game after. It's going to happen. You know, and we need to stop it whilst it's still here. I do believe that Jurgen Klopp, he did pollute the minds of the referees, but they should have their own mind anyway. But I think Jurgen Klopp did absolutely twist things, saying Man United, it's Man United, they get all decisions when we don't. Every game, Liverpool get a penalty. Every game. It's a well-known fact they get a penalty. I always look at my phone, I'm like this. Salah, penalty. Salah, penalty. I'm like that all season last season. You know? Big up, Asif. Big up, Sal. Honestly, I'm not confident but in Amram's system anymore. Even if we sign Baleba, no players improvement under Amram. The players seen during the games. That's wrong, Tyro. It's nothing to do with the system, mate. Absolutely nothing to do with the system. It's the fact that we didn't have anyone up front and the fact that we got 90% of that team is not his. That's why. The system works. They've proven in the Champions League with Sporting Lisbon it works. Beat Man City 4-0 with it. 4-1. The system works. System is like a low ball IQ sort of blame. It's not Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim is a fantastic manager. He needs to be backed. Again, we're going into the realms of blaming the manager, blaming the manager, blaming the manager. Yeah, he makes mistakes, but we dominated that game against Arsenal. So it definitely wasn't the system, was it? We dominated the game. Arsenal have a world-class defense. You know, the only mistake I know from that game is Sesko, right? And Sesko was not match fit. So you can argue that. In regards to Garnacho, total disrespect for Chelsea, which other teams have been disrespecting our players all through the years. If we can't sell them, we should be negotiating in the squad. Big up, Tyro. I agree with that one. Absolutely. Cunha is a real maverick. Reminds me of Cantona. Sticks his chest in. Absolutely love it, of course. Thank you so much, Acid. Big up yourself. Thank you so much. Cunha was a brilliant signing. Cooked Arsenal. Absolutely. Just needed that striker up there, of course. Guys. God, take over goalkeeper if we sign Donnarumma. More Graham, he does have it. He does have the same opinion as me, actually, because every single player he's signed so far has been an opinion of mine. How do you know he doesn't like Donnarumma? You know, what's your source? Trust me, bruv. Mate, your only short source is mayonnaise, you know, and the only thing you have a good opinion about is your cholesterol, which is high. Daniel Davis got him, man. It's really needed. Honestly, Donnarumma all the way. I mean, absolutely. What a prat. Absolutely prat. Mate, I mean, is it because he's Italian or something? You don't like him because he's Italian? Is it that? Is it because you're just like a ginge or something? And you're like a ginger biscuit? Are you a ginge? Are you a ginge? Is that what you are? Are you upset because you're a ginge? Is that what it is? I think so. Ginger pubes and all that. Jamie, we'll start on Sunday. Onana or buying there, mate. That's like saying which finger do you want to keep? Do you want to keep your thumb or your index finger? What do you want to keep? That's what it's like saying at the end of the day, Jamie. Nesta Baldini and all the rest of football. What is honestly today the beautiful game? We know absolutely. EC current footballers are gamers, fashion icons, absolutely. Social media stars and celebrities care more about what color boots they are than wearing the badge. Absolutely spot on, EC. Spot on, mate. That was a punya. Yeah, that was a penalty. Fine margins again, isn't it? But we move on and we better beat Fulham. We put ourselves under a bit of pressure now, Jamie. You know, I didn't want to lose the first game of the season. It's gut-wrenching to lose the first game of the season, but it is what it is, of course. Of course. Big up, Jamie. Yeah, I had to cook some people today. I mean, I've heard some bad emotional damage, mate. I have to, mate. You know, at the end of the day, you know, if he wakes up in the morning, looks himself in the mirror, you know, and 5'5", ginge, and it just, you know, life's bad. You know, I feel for it. I really do. I mean, it must really hurt. And, you know, I look at these people and I think, you know what? You know, wake up in the morning and think that Donnarumma's crap. I mean, my goodness me. I mean, I don't know who you rate then. Who do you rate? I mean, our number 9 sits Alex Ferguson has struggled to receive proper supply. That's the main reason why United's goals have come from wings and midfield. Amma needs to change the mindset or Sesko failing. Yeah, that's part of it, says Asif. That is part of it. But however, I would argue that Robin Van Persie scored goals even under Moyes. Ibrahimovic scored goals. You know, Cavani scored goals even with no supply. You know, I think we just bought bad players, mate. I thought we bought bad players. We just bought bad players. In regards to Sesko, however, I agree with you, Acid, by the way. I'm just saying it's not all the problem, but it's part of the problem. So what I would say is that if I don't see any crosses for Sesko, and I'm talking about the bloody player FC, can't do no wrong, Ahmad. If he doesn't put that ball in the box against Fulham, I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be fuming because you know what? I don't want Sesko, Asif, to go down the same road. Santarellero. I'm seeing Donnarumma ending up on the red side of Manchester. Hopefully, mate. Big up, Santarellero. Hope you're well. Honestly, pal, just don't know class. What should we stick with? Butterfingers, Onana. What the fuck? I know, mate. I know. You cooked me too, and I look at... no, I didn't cook you, Jamie. Jamie is banter, mate. Don't worry. But I didn't cook you. I just said don't swear. I didn't cook you. I just said be careful, mate. I've got people on my back. You know how many people report me? Bloody hell. You know what I mean? I have people on my back. So, yeah, look, you know what I would say? Just be careful of that. And that's all I would say. But big up, Jamie. You're a legend, mate. And nothing but love to you, mate. Guys, absolutely. And everyone. We got to take a leap in ability, yes. And one thing I saw against Fiorentina, Jamie, is Mbumo with that whipped cross. Mbumo with that whipped cross, mate. You know, and I was thinking to myself, when Sesko is in that team, Sesko's going to get on the end of those players. Absolutely. Daryl, love you too, brother. Thank you so much. Legend. Thank you so much, mate. Really appreciate everyone in the stream, guys, whether you agree or not. But there is some people who just can't take a disagreement. They can't take it. I mean, this is Stretford Post. They'll get used to it, you know. Yeah. Talk-ish, get banged, basically, at the end of the day. And that's what we're doing here. But, yeah, look, guys, really appreciate it. Been a great show. Excuse me. Goodness me. As usual, guys, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Please don't forget to smash a like on the video. If you guys can do that for me, that will be enough. Thank you so much. His crossing is beautiful, man. Really is. It is. And we need to see more of it. The fact that we didn't see it is because he basically didn't have a striker to aim at, you know? We will play better against 100% against Fulham. I agree with that. I think we're going to win that game, Daryl. I think we're going to win that. Make sure you join me for the watch-along, by the way. I'm doing Tottenham watch-along. Tottenham against Tottenham. Who are Tottenham bloody playing? Tottenham, Man City I'm doing Man United, obviously, Fulham, and I'm doing Newcastle, Liverpool. So we got 3 watch-alongs at this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, guys. We got 3 watch-alongs on there, guys. So make sure you tune in for that, guys. Thank you so much, Daryl. Absolute legend. Really appreciate everyone in the stream. Even if we don't agree, I do appreciate you. It's all banter, guys, by the way, guys. But I will call that bad opinions. Absolutely would, guys. Guys, thank you so much. Absolute legends. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Please don't forget to smash a like on the video. And please don't forget to put your notifications on, guys. Really appreciate that. Guys, it can only get better. We have to win on the weekend. And we have to make sure that we score first. I hopefully score first. Absolutely. Big up, my friend. Big up, Daryl. Good to see you. And Asif. Big up, Asif, the legend again. This is going to be an expected but satisfying in the end of, mark my words. A good goalkeeper and a good midfielder will make serious. It would be, mate. Asif, there's the $1 million question right there. The goalkeeper and the midfielder will make things a hell of a lot better, my friend. A hell of a lot better. It would do. It'd be the difference, mate. That would be the game changer, in my opinion. Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much. I will be back tomorrow for Breaking Dawn, of course. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Please don't forget to smash a like. And please don't forget to put your notifications on. I'm Sal Warner. This is Chatterbox. And I'll see you soon, guys. Take it easy. Peace.